Every day you wake up, you have a choice to repeat yesterday or to rewrite your future. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. The motivation you're waiting for, it's already inside you. You just have to wake it up. You don't need more time, you need more discipline. You don't need more chances, you need more courage. Success doesn't come from one big step. It comes from showing up every single day, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching, even when you feel like giving up. Your dreams are not foolish, your goals are not too far. The gap between where you are and where you want to be, that gap is built by your daily habits, your mindset, and your grit. Watch this every day to remind yourself you are powerful. You are worthy, you are capable. Don't wait for motivation, be your own reason to rise. Motivation is powerful, but it's also fleeting. It's that spark you feel after watching an inspiring video, hearing a great speech, or reading a powerful quote. It gives you a rush of energy, a short-term push to get started, but here's the truth, motivation fades. It disappears when things get tough, when the excitement wears off, or when life throws obstacles in your path. That's where discipline comes in, and it's the game changer. Discipline is what keeps you going after the motivation is gone. It's what gets you out of bed when you'd rather hit snooze. It's what drives you to keep working, even when you're tired, stressed, or frustrated. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning. People who achieve their goals, the ones who rise above average, are not always the most talented or the most inspired. They are the most disciplined. They do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. They understand that commitment means following through long after the mood they made the commitment in has left them. Discipline is building a routine, sticking to a plan, and keeping promises to yourself. It's training your mind to obey the direction of your goals instead of your emotions. It means showing up not just once in a while when it's convenient, but every single day, no matter the mood, the weather, or the excuses. There will be days when your energy is low, days when your mind is filled with doubt, days when motivation seems a million miles away. Those are the days that count the most, because it's easy to move when you feel good. But real strength is built when you move even when you don't. Every successful person you admire didn't just rely on motivation, they built habits of discipline, they made sacrifices, they did the boring, repetitive, difficult things without applause. Because they knew results don't come from inspiration, they come from action, especially the kind you take when no one is watching. So if you want to change your life, stop waiting for the perfect moment to feel ready. Stop depending on motivation to kick in, build discipline like a muscle, train it daily, let it lead you. Your future is not decided by a single choice or one defining moment, it's built slowly, day by day, through the habits you keep. What you do consistently matters more than what you do occasionally. Your habits are like the bricks that construct the life you're living and the life you're going to live. Every decision you make, no matter how small, either reinforces the person you want to become or pulls you further away from it. We tend to think change requires huge effort or dramatic transformation. But the truth is, it's the small, often overlooked actions, the ones that seem insignificant in the moment, that determine whether you succeed or stay stuck. Waking up 30 minutes earlier, reading 10 pages a day, choosing water instead of soda, saying no to distractions. These are the daily choices that compound over time into massive results. Habits work both ways. They can work for you or they can work against you. If you allow yourself to scroll endlessly on your phone, skip workouts, procrastinate on important tasks, or surround yourself with negativity, those actions slowly build a future of regret, frustration, and missed potential. On the other hand, when you develop habits of discipline, focus, and intention, you build a future filled with strength, confidence, and success. Think of your habits like planting seeds. You won't see the fruit tomorrow or the next day, but give it time. Give it consistency, the roots grow deeper, the changes start to show, the results begin to take shape. The key is not perfection, but repetition. It's about choosing your future self over your current comfort. Your identity, who you believe you are, is deeply tied to your habits. If you want to be a writer, write a little every day. If you want to be healthy, make healthy choices part of your daily rhythm. If you want to be a leader, start leading in the small moments. The more you act in alignment with the person you want to be, The more you believe you are that person, and eventually it becomes second nature. There's a saying, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. That means your goals alone won't change your life, your systems, your habits, and your routines will. You can have all the dreams in the world, but without the habits to back them up, they remain dreams, not realities. One of the most empowering and sometimes uncomfortable truths in life is this: no one is responsible for your growth but you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your boss, not your circumstances, and definitely not luck. Growth is a personal responsibility. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens by intention, commitment, and effort. It's easy to point fingers. It's easy to blame the past, the system, the environment, or even the people around us. But the moment you accept full ownership of your life is the moment you unlock your potential. Because when you take responsibility, you also take control. You can't wait for someone to hand you the opportunity, the knowledge, or the support you need. The truth is, you already have access to more resources than ever before in human history. Books, podcasts, online courses, mentors, communities, they're all within reach. The only question is, are you willing to seek them out? Are you willing to do the work? Personal growth is uncomfortable because it demands change. It requires self-reflection, accountability, and the willingness to let go of who you were in order to become who you're meant to be. That might mean breaking bad habits, walking away from toxic relationships, or challenging long-held beliefs. Growth isn't always loud or glamorous. Sometimes it's quiet, slow, and painful, but it's worth it. You also have to understand growth doesn't just mean success in your career or physical progress in the gym. It means expanding your mindset. It means learning how to regulate your emotions, how to stay calm in chaos, how to treat people with empathy, and how to keep moving forward even when life gets hard. These forms of growth are invisible, but they are powerful. They're what allow you to thrive instead of merely survive. And while support from others is valuable, it cannot replace self-responsibility. You can have a mentor, but they can't do the work for you. You can get advice, but it won't matter if you don't act on it. You can be surrounded by love and encouragement, but at the end of the day, you have to want it enough to chase it yourself. Growth also requires brutal honesty, admitting when you've fallen short, when your excuses have held you back, or when your own mindset has been the biggest obstacle in your path. It's not about self-blame, it's about self-awareness. Because when you know what's stopping you, you can finally start moving past it. Taking responsibility for your growth means realizing that you are not a victim of your story, you are the author. You don't need permission to evolve. You don't need someone else to believe in you before you start. The only permission you need is your own. The only belief that matters is the belief you build in yourself through action. If there's one trait that separates those who succeed from those who give up halfway, it's not talent, luck, or intelligence, it's consistency. Consistency is what turns effort into progress and progress into success. It's not about doing something once in a while with intensity, but doing it regularly with intention. The truth is, big transformations come from small actions repeated over and over again. Everyone wants results. Everyone wants to grow, improve, and win. But not everyone is willing to be consistent, because consistency isn't glamorous. It's not always exciting. It's often repetitive, uncomfortable, and quiet. It's waking up early even when you're tired. It's going to the gym when you don't feel like it. It's reading, studying, practicing, learning even when there's no immediate reward in sight. But here's the secret. What you do daily is more important than what you do occasionally. Your daily choices, routines, and habits become your identity. If you want to become a better version of yourself, don't wait for one big moment to change everything. Focus on winning the small battles every day. Consistency builds momentum. Each time you show up, even when it's hard, you build mental strength. You prove to yourself that you can be trusted, that you keep your word, and over time, those small acts of effort compound. They stack, they build a foundation so strong that even when motivation fades or life gets chaotic, your habits keep you moving forward. Most people quit because they don't see results fast enough. They underestimate the power of time and overestimate the speed of success. But real, lasting results are rarely instant. They come to those who are patient enough to stay the course, even when the payoff isn't immediately visible. Think about it like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it, you nurture it, you trust the process. Consistency also creates trust, not just with others, but with yourself. Every time you follow through, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who takes action, someone who keeps showing up, and that belief becomes the fuel that pushes you through future challenges. There will be days when the progress feels invisible, days when it seems like nothing's changing. But consistency is working even when you can't see it. The discipline to keep going, to keep putting in the reps, to keep showing up, even when it's boring or uncomfortable, that's where the real change happens. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world. It shapes how you interpret challenges, respond to failure, and pursue your goals. In many ways, your mindset is the foundation of everything you do. Your actions, your reactions, your beliefs, your level of resilience all trace back to the thoughts you allow to dominate your mind. There are two core mindsets people tend to operate from: a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset says, "This is who I am, I can't change, I'm either good at something or I'm not." People stuck in this mindset see failure as a personal flaw, criticism as an attack, and effort as a sign of weakness. But a growth mindset says, "I can learn, I can improve, I'm not defined by my current situation." It sees failure as feedback, criticism as fuel, and effort as the path to mastery. The way you think about yourself and your abilities matters more than most people realize. If you believe you're not capable, you'll subconsciously limit your actions to match that belief. If you think you're stuck, you won't even try to break out. But if you truly believe that change is possible, that your mind can grow, your skills can evolve, and your future can look different from your past, then you're already on the path to transformation. Your mindset influences your emotional resilience. Life is full of setbacks, obstacles, and uncertainty. A strong mindset doesn't prevent hard times, it empowers you to face them. It teaches you to find meaning in struggle, to extract lessons from failure, and to rise again after falling. The right mindset doesn't eliminate fear, it helps you act in spite of fear. It doesn't remove doubt, it helps you move forward while carrying it. Mindset also affects how you treat opportunities. A weak mindset sees opportunity as a risk. A strong mindset sees opportunity as growth. One person sees a challenge and says, "What if I fail?" Another sees the same challenge and says, "What if I succeed?" The difference isn't the situation, it's the internal narrative, the belief system driving the response. And mindset isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. It comes from what you feed your brain, who you surround yourself with, the habits you develop, and the conversations you have with yourself every single day. If you constantly talk yourself down, focus on your flaws, and expect the worst, that mindset will become your reality. But if you train your mind to focus on solutions, growth, and possibilities, your world begins to shift. Every breakthrough starts with a belief, a mindset that says, "This is possible. I can do this. I'm not finished yet." Your mind can be your greatest enemy or your greatest ally. It can talk you out of your potential, or it can push you to rise higher than ever before. Too often, success is mistaken for something that just happens: a lucky break, a sudden opportunity, or being in the right place at the right time. But real, lasting success doesn't come from chance. It's not stumbled upon like a treasure buried in the sand. Success is built piece by piece, choice by choice, day by day. Every person you admire, every story of triumph you hear, every overnight success you read about, if you look closer, you'll find years of hard work, failure, sacrifice, and persistence behind it. What looks like a breakthrough moment is almost always the result of countless moments of effort that came before it. There are no shortcuts, no secret doors. There's only the work that most people never see and even fewer are willing to do. Success is built in silence. It's built in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the hours no one claps for. It's built when you keep going after rejection, when you stay committed through boredom, when you push forward even though progress is slow and uncertain. It's not glamorous, it's not instant, but it's real. And the more you embrace that truth, the stronger and more prepared you become. The idea that some people are just lucky dismisses the reality of what success demands. It's not luck, it's mindset. It's discipline, it's making decisions when no one's watching, it's choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. It's saying no to distractions so you can say yes to your goals. And success isn't only about outcomes, it's about becoming the kind of person who earns those outcomes. It's about developing character, building resilience, sharpening skills, and learning how to adapt. You don't just achieve success, you grow into it. You become it. That's why success is never guaranteed, it has to be earned. You can have all the talent in the world, but without work ethic, it won't take you far. You can have dreams as big as the sky, but without action, they remain just dreams. The people who succeed are not always the most gifted, they are the ones who showed up, again and again, building something no one could see until it finally became visible. Success doesn't ask for perfection. It doesn't demand that you have all the answers or get everything right the first time. It only asks that you commit to the process, that you lay brick after brick with consistency, intention, and belief, even when the wall you're building still looks like nothing. Because eventually, if you keep building, the structure begins to rise. Fear is often misunderstood. It's seen as a signal to stop, to turn back, to stay where it's safe. But in truth, fear is not your enemy, it's a compass. It points directly at the things that matter most, the goals that stretch you, the dreams that excite you, the changes that could transform your life. Fear usually lives right next to them, not because those things are wrong, but because they are meaningful. You fear starting that business because it means putting your vision into the world and risking failure. You fear speaking in public because it forces you to be seen and heard and risk being judged. You fear going all in on your dream because deep down you know it could change everything, and that's terrifying. But what if instead of seeing fear as a sign to retreat, you saw it as a sign to lean in? When you feel fear, especially the kind that comes from stepping into something bigger than you've done before, that's often a clue. This is the direction of growth. This is the path that, while uncomfortable, could lead to your next level. Fear means you're outside your comfort zone, and that's exactly where transformation happens. Nothing meaningful was ever built in comfort. Comfort protects you, but it also limits you. The most successful, fulfilled people in the world are not fearless. They've simply learned how to act despite fear. They've trained themselves to see fear as information, not as a wall, but as a door. They understand that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to keep moving, even when fear is loud. Fear also reveals where you care most. You don't fear things that don't matter to you. You fear what's personal, what's tied to your identity, your values, your hopes. That's why fear is such a powerful guide. It doesn't show you what to avoid, it shows you what to pursue, if you have the strength to face it. Of course, not all fear is productive. There's instinctive fear that keeps you physically safe. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about psychological fear, the fear of failure, rejection, embarrassment, or not being enough. These fears are illusions built on limiting beliefs and worst-case scenarios that often never happen. Yet they hold so many people back from chasing what they truly want to grow. You have to walk toward the very things you want to avoid, that uncomfortable conversation, that ambitious goal, that difficult choice. The moment you stop running from fear and start confronting it, you realize it has less power than you gave it, and the more you face it, the smaller it gets. Each time you act in spite of fear, you expand what's possible for you. Your confidence grows, your courage compounds, your world gets bigger, and somewhere along the way you stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What if I succeed?" You may not always notice it, but the environment you place yourself in plays a powerful, often invisible role in shaping who you become. The people around you, the conversations you engage in, the content you consume, the energy in your space, all of it either pushes you forward